Hi guys, and welcome to this tech Q&A session. And yes, I know we are doing this after a while, but got a variety of questions via Twitter. So let's take in about 20 odd questions and variety of questions, and last some EV related questions also some of you have asked. So let's start with the first one. This is by Kingsley D'Souza. He's asking, iPhone or Pixel, what's a better fit for photography and videography for a small lifestyle brand, and why? Kingsley, I would say in terms of video, as you're telling you are a lifestyle brand, you might need to shoot video and stuff. Definitely, I would say still the iPhone has an edge over the video quality of the Pixel. So if what do you say, you take a lot of videos, then I would lean towards the iPhone. But if you just compare the photograph, then I feel the Pixel gets slightly better photographs. But again, if I want a mix of both, because the video still has an edge, I would say iPhone. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is by Sundareep, and quite a few of you have asked me about this question. He's asking, best way to transfer video files from a high-end Android phone to a MacBook. I have been actually using this free app that is on Android known as AirDroid, and using which you can transfer files to any computer. It might be Mac, it might be Windows, it might be Linux or whatever. So just check it out. It's known as AirDroid, and it's a sort of a free app. You just open the app and it gives a URL. Again, your Mac computer and your Android phone should be on the same Wi-Fi network, obviously, and it gives a URL. You just paste it on your browser and you can access your entire phone, so you can download pictures, videos, etc. with the same. I've been actually using this one for more than 8-9 years. It works perfectly. This is by Shom Das. He's asking, did the definition of budget, mid-range and flagship change to an extent that is surprising? What does that say about consumer patterns, and what signal does this give to the company? Shom Das, I think so you are making this comment because the recent smartphones that were launched, that is the, what is that, iqoo 15, OnePlus 15, Realme 8 Pro, whatever, all of them launched at 73,000, which is considerably higher than what prices we were actually seeing for these so-called value flagship Android phones. And certainly, yes, you're true, the pricing has increased. And again, there are a lot of reasons for this one, and I think so again the companies also are taking a little bit of more profit, but at least the chipset, that is the Snapdragon 8 Elite Generation 5, is a lot more expensive. And another thing is that the RAM that is there on these smartphones, that have to use that faster RAM, has also become very, very expensive. Almost about 60% price has increased. That is why we are seeing this. And I don't know if this, I hope this is not true. I'm seeing that if this RAM pricing situation does not get solved in the next couple of months, even for the so-called premium mid-range smartphones that used to cost around between that 30 to 40,000, I'm hearing that those phones pricing will also increase considerably. I hope that doesn't happen, but as of now the RAM prices are quite high in the market. So yeah, definitely the definition has now sort of changed. This is a sad thing, I would say. This year, I'm just not liking the pricing of the smartphones that are launched in India. This is my next. This is by Tony Shark. He's asking, do you think sodium ion batteries will surpass LFP? And if you were to choose between Moto G60 96 and iqoo device of the same price segment, which do you? Again, two different questions. First, let's talk about the batteries. And again, you're talking about sodium ion batteries, and will it surpass LFP? And these LFP batteries are not used in your smartphones, etc., but are used in EVs, or even what do you say, for batteries, storage and all this thing. And I think so in the home storage or the commercial storage area, the sodium ion batteries can replace LFP, because when you are just using battery as a storage of energy, for example, you have a solar plant or whatever, you're storing excess energy in those batteries, their space is not a constraint. So I think so in next 2-3 years, the sodium ion batteries will become a lot more priced better, I would say, than LFP battery. And I feel this will take on the market of the LFP batteries that is now just getting into the home segment market. But I think so in that area, the sodium ion batteries will go. But I don't think the sodium batteries will go into electric cars or EVs or something like that, because the amount of energy that they can pack in per kilowatt is a lot less, I would say, per kg, sorry, that they can, so it becomes a lot more bulkier and it takes a lot more space. case, I would say. Moving to Moto G96 and iQOO device, I specifically haven't tested the G96, so I can't comment. But what I have noticed is that lately, I used to always, if you recall, recommend the Motorola phones, even in the mid-range price segment. And the reason for that was clean UI experience. But sadly, if you look at it from past year, this is no longer the case. Now the Motorola, mid-range phones are coming with bloatware and extra apps and stuff like that. So I feel, I don't recall about this exact model that you are comparing, but at that same price point last year at least, the iQOO, actually, iQOO also has quite a bit of bloatware and stuff like that. But at the same price point, iQOO was offering better processors. So if you are more sort of a gaming sort of a person or something, then the iQOO's better processor might make a lot more sense, because now even the Moto series are adding that bloatware and stuff like that. And so that trump card that it had, clean Android experience and all things, sort of gone. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is by Anmol. Can you review the OnePlus 15? Many say it's a downgrade versus the OnePlus 13. Please compare its camera to the Oppo Find series and other flagships. Include direct OnePlus 13 comparison if possible. I don't have the OnePlus 13, so I can't compare. But yes, I have just today morning, ordered the OnePlus 15 from Amazon India, and I should be getting it by the evening or something. So yeah, I will be testing out the OnePlus 15 and will test it out. How's the camera? But I have the, what is this? This is the Oppo Find X9 Pro. I don't think so it can compete with the X9 Pro's camera, because this one has outstanding camera. But let's see how's the camera on the OnePlus 15. We'll be testing it soon. This is Bashish. He's asking an interesting question. iPhone 17 or Air, that is iPhone Air, currently using 13, mix of personal and office use, 5 use daily. Okay, I have been also actually using the iPhone Air. This is my primary SIM is actually in this one, and surprisingly, I have access to every phone out there in the market. Like every phone, you can ask, almost every phone I have. But I am just loving using this iPhone Air. But again, I would say if camera is a priority, then do not go for the iPhone Air. In terms of battery life, because I had also purchased the iPhone 17, battery life is very similar to the 17. The 17 might get just about 30 minutes extra SOT, I would say. But apart from that, it's very... But again, the lightness and the in-hand feel of this one is just next level. But again, if camera is important to you, this simply does not have that ultra-wide camera, which I frankly miss. But I'm not bothered about it, that camera, missing of that camera, because generally I carry 2 phones with me, so that extra camera that I don't have is not. But again, if this is your only device, then again, do note that ultra-wide camera is the missing part. And also I have already posted the in-depth review of this, iPhone Air. So watch that video. I'll try to leave it in the description if you want, so that you know all the pros and cons. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is by Akash. iPhone 17 versus Pixel 9a versus OnePlus 13s. Which one to pick? OnePlus 13s, to be very frank, I like the phone, but the camera is bad, man. I didn't like the camera on this one, so I will not recommend that one. And between these 3, if I would say, the iPhone 17 is the better one among all these 3, to be very, very frank. Next, this is by Shubham. He says, started jogging. Any tips to increase VO2 max in the long run? Can run 1.5 kilometer and 1 go, and looking to improve it. Congrats, Shubham. And continuously you are able to run 1.5 kilometers is a big, thing, I would say, because I know many people simply can't run continuously after a kilometer or something. I just recently, my average continuous run, I can do about 2.5, but just once, about last month, I ran with my friend, and we were just talking, and I could run continuously for 5 kilometers. That's my max, I would say. And slowly increase, I would say, this frequency of your continuous run. Don't try to just, if you're doing 1.5, try to do just about 2 kilometers immediately. Try to maintain this 1.5 kilometers for a couple of weeks. Then that 1.5 will be very easier to then increase it by little. That's how you do it. I've been actually now running for almost 2.5 years. So it's a slow process. And that's how your lung capacity and your VO2 max increases. It's not like it can be increased in 3-4 days or something. It's a long process, I would say. Currently, my VO2 Vo2 Max is at 45, and I'm just trying to improve my it's stuck at 45 now for almost 3 months, but I know to even increase it to 46, I have to work so much harder. So just keep on going with it and slowly increase the capacity. Next, this is by Tushar. He's asking, are we in a technological stagnation in high-end smartphone? Is it just big battery, big screen, big camera? That's it. Tushar, yes. If you're looking for new radical improvement or form factor, etc., in this smartphone, then you will not see that happening. We have reached already the peak of what do you say, smartphones and all those things, I would say. And I would say, so don't expect radical improvements, etc. on this one, and the big change in form factor, because I've also used foldables, etc. The best foldable, I would say, as of now is the Samsung Z Fold 7. But again, if you're expecting radical change, no. I think so the big radical change will happen in wearable specs with AR. We are just seeing it, but as of now, it's very expensive. So I think so by next year, I'm hoping we will be able to get decent AR glasses that will not look very goofy, and that will offer a lot of things. For example, you don't have to pick up your phone. And obviously, like pair with your smartphone. So for notifications and stuff, for small stuff, you can just see it, glance it on the glass itself. For navigation, you don't have to look at your phone. So I feel in that area, the wearable glasses and something, that is the big next revolution that we are going to see in the next year. But again, it might be very expensive also by next year. But hopefully in the next 2 years, we should see a lot more vendors jumping into that bandwagon. So that can be the next big leap in technology, I would say. But again, they will use your smartphone as they will pair to your smartphone. So again, your smartphone will be there, but it will be acting like a server and pushing the information. Very nice. Moving to the next one. This is being by Devatal. He's asking, my budget, he says, is 1.2 lakh. Should I go for the MacBook or high-end Windows laptop? Need for personal use and sometimes office work. I am long-time MacBook user, so I'm aware of the pros and cons of Apple. My preference, good battery life, display, UX, post-sale service. I would say if this is your budget, I would go with the MacBook itself. You can get the MacBook Air with, I would say, actually 512 gigabytes of storage and slightly higher RAM in this budget. And I would say, if you're not doing gaming, specifically just gaming, then you should stick to a MacBook. It'll suffice you. I would say it does a lot of things. Still, the battery life is class leading. The build quality is very good. In fact, MacBooks actually, the MacBook Airs last a long time. For example, I don't know, I had purchased the MacBook Air M1 when it was launched. I don't even recall when it was, more than 4 or 5 years. And now I have given it to my daughter who's going to the college, and still she is using. And I think so she might be able to use it comfortably for the next 2 years. So again, the thing is that yes, the Macs do cost a little bit more initially, but the shelf life is a lot more. So that way, it works out a lot cheaper than a lot of Windows laptop. And again, if you talk about the build quality, speakers, etc., very few Windows laptops even come close to that. But again, if you're doing gaming, then I would not suggest you the Macs. Next, this is my Mahendra Reddy. He's asking, I've noticed in the last 1 month, RAM prices have increased 100%. The 64 GB I was looking to purchase now costing a whopping 70,000, same as 5070 graphic cards. Will the price slash or continue to increase? PC build increased? Yes, Mahendra, that's what I was talking about. That is the reason, one reason, because smartphone prices also have increased, because the RAM prices have shot up like crazy. And yes, you're correct. It is also happening in the PC market. Sorry about it. Okay, so I don't think so this is going to get solved by next quarter. Hopefully, I think so by next quarter, if this doesn't get solved, then it can be a problem. Like, I remember something like this happened about 20 years ago, and the prices of RAM increased like crazy, and it was so bad that black marketing of RAM was going on. In fact, I remember I actually, when I had built my PC before that price increase about 6 months ago, I had actually some extra RAM I had that time, and I could actually sell that 8 gigabytes of extra RAM that I had for almost double the price what I had purchased. So yes, this is the sad situation again we are seeing. I hope this gets finished by next quarter. From what I'm hearing, that if it doesn't get solved, even in smartphone industry, the mid-range smartphones will get affected. This is by Carlos. He's asking, hi sir, do you think the purchasing flagship phones in the premium segment is still worth it, considering the mid-range segment devices like the iQOO Neo 11 sporting the Snapdragon 8 Elite and 2K display featured in S24 Ultra are available at are getting great reviews. I haven't tested the iQOO Neo 11, but I had actually tested the iQOO Neo 10, and iQOO Neo 10 also at that price point, and the battery life that I was getting was a very, very good phone. So certainly I would say these flagships, what they have currently, you are definitely paying a lot for the current flagships, and if you're on a slightly tighter budget, I never recommend the current flagships to most of the users. The mid-range flagships are the best bang for the buck in my frank opinion, because you're getting 90% of the stuff at almost 50% of the price, and that's the fact. But let's see, I'm worried what will be the India pricing of these so-called premium mid-range smartphones considering the RAM price increase. Keeping my fingers crossed for that. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is by Vishal. He's asking, what is good value of money projector for movie and gaming? Okay, Vishal, the projector thing is a very, very wide thing. I would say in the medium range, recently I was testing out the Lumio Arc 7 projector. If I recall, that was just for about 35,000. And for that price, it's actually a very good projector, because I also own a, portable BenQ projector that is almost 75,000. Yes, the BenQ one is definitely better in a few areas than the Lumio, but the Lumio at 35,000, the picture quality and the audio that I was getting is a steal. But again, these are not gaming projectors. Gaming projectors are actually pretty expensive. In fact, I own a BenQ gaming projector. Again, search on my channel Geekyranjit BenQ gaming projector, you'll get it. Gaming projectors are actually specialized projector which have very low input lag, but again, they cost quite a bit, about 1.5 lakhs or something like that. If you have that budget, go with the BenQ gaming projectors. They are fantastic, but again, those will be on the pricier side. And the good thing is that BenQ gaming projectors are also good for movies and etc., because they have that 100% DCP-IP. That's color accuracy is very good on them. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is by Sumit Yadav. Top 5 gadgets that have improved your life. Okay, this is a very interesting question. Okay, let me try to answer. I don't know, it will be top 5 that I can put. The first thing I would say that changed my life is projectors. If you recall, I've started using projectors from the last 2-3 years. And what I like about projectors is that projectors are actually very easy on your eyes. If you notice, I've got specs and all those things now, and watching the screen continuously for 10 hours tires your eyes. But the good thing about projector is that projector, you are not directly actually viewing the light. What happens with the projector is at back. It actually hits your wall or etc., or a projection screen or what. So it is not direct light that is hitting your eyeballs, and that way the eye strain is actually a lot less on the projector. And of course, you get the massive 100-inch screen, 120, 115 screen. You get that cinema thing. So I think so the projector is one thing I thought was a very underrated thing. If you have the space, of course, I think that was one of the game changers. Second thing, that gadget, I won't say I have improved my life, but again, I have to talk about one smartphone at least that I feel is a standout this year. And for me, in foldables, that is the Galaxy Z Fold 7, I would say. Samsung has done a terrific job in that. Apart from that, another gadget that has improved my life, I would say, is the solar plant. I'm very proud of it. I have a solar plant now. It will be almost 2.5 years. And to be very frank, I am actually exporting more electricity than I'm consuming. So I'm happy that for the electricity, what I'm using, etc., I'm not using the burnt coal as electricity. In fact, I'm supplying a little bit extra electricity to the grid. So I'm very happy about that. And I feel if people have the space on the roof or whatever, they should do that, because India, I would say, still burns a lot of coal for generating electricity, and if we can do that to offset it, it's a good thing. So that is what I like. And apart from that, I would say what I have is important, EVs also. I mean, if you know, I have EVs now. I have 2 EVs, an Exxon EV and a BE6, and I have to say having an EV has changed. Again, I charge it with my solar, so I'm not relying on the grid and etc. like that. So, and it has improved life. In fact, fact, now we don't care how far we have to go or whatever. In fact, I would say after getting the EVs now, my monthly run has increased. Now it's anywhere from 1200 to 2000 kilometers. Earlier, when we was just using the petrol car or whatever, our monthly run was just about 500, 600 kilometers. And so again, after the EV, things have just changed. I would say we are going for casual rides, etc. A lot more, I would say. So these were some of the gadgets or like stuff that have improved or changed my life, I would say, for better, I would say. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is by Shasha. Do you want to share the experience of a B6? It's been due for some. Yeah, you're talking about that Mahindra B6. I have the top end pack 3 that comes with the 79 kilowatt. And overall, I would say it has now have covered about 4,500 kilometers on that one. And I was a little bit hesitant to review it earlier. Now I think so I should be able to do it because I've driven it enough. And I'm super happy with the car. In fact, it has exceeded my expectations. In fact, I was worried about the bugs and the issues that some people were coming. Fortunately, I did not have many bugs. Yes, I had 1 or 2 bugs, but again, those were not deal breaker. And this has to be one of the best cars that I've owned. If you guys recall, I have owned BMW. We had Mercedes in a family and stuff like that. But this is one of the best car that I have actually used for the price to performance ratio that is incredible on the big B6. But again, is it perfect? No, no car is perfect. Same thing. But again, surprisingly, it has exceeded my expectations. The only nitpicking is that sometimes there are some bugs that pop up. But what I've seen is that now that it has gone to the service center, software updates are actually improving a lot of things. Again, remember these new EVs are basically software controlled cars. So definitely very happy with this one. I'll try to post a video on that one with the pros and cons. It's going to be a huge, long video. I have been actually making notes from past 3 months about that car. Anyways, this is by Nandu. He's asking, now that iPhones have also entered the game of anti-reflective display, does these coating reduce the sharpness of the display like they do on the display of laptop or monitor screen? And is the quality of the coating better than using a matte screen? Yes, don't worry about the sharpness or anything. Again, it's not affected. But I would say if you really want that, anti-reflective coating, don't look at the iPhone. This is the iPhone Air. It's actually not that effective on the iPhones. The best anti-reflective coating is on the S24 Ultra, S25 Ultra. That is a big change, game changer, I would say. These are the meh, I would say. And again, it does not affect the sharpness or anything. And this is not like a matte screen that you're putting. It's completely different. Don't mistake it for the matte screens. Yes, that they reduce the sharpness and make it slightly curved. It looks blurry, but not with these. But again, the iPhones, if you're happy with the iPhone's anti-glare coating, just look at the S25 Ultra's anti-glare coating. You'll be blown away. This is just like, if I have to rate, this is like 3 out of 10, and that is almost 10 on 10. That big difference. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is Unsold Cat. Very interesting question. What do you prefer, camera or UI? Personally, in the long run, personally for me, I'm talking, I prefer a better UI than the camera. Because camera, to be very frank, I don't use the camera every day. Okay? But the UI and other aspects, I use it every time I'm using the phone. So I'm using it almost hundreds of times, the UI experience, rather than the camera. I'm a person who does not take a lot of photographs. But yes, when I'm reviewing the camera or testing it, I do it critically, take a lot of photos. But apart from that, in a week, I might just take 1 or 2 photos. So, and only time I take a lot of photos is when I go to, vacations or something. So for me, personally, I would say a good UI is a lot better than the camera. But again, it's just me. Maybe you'll be having kids or something, or you'll be taking a lot of photographs or something like that. And maybe a camera-centric smartphone or something like this. This is the, Oppo Find X9 Pro might be more beneficial to you. That's the only reason I'm able to stick with this iPhone Air. Because I've realized I just don't use the camera that much. I don't need to critically use the camera that much, to be very frank, in my daily usage. Anyways, this is by Nair. Which one would you pick, the OnePlus 15 or the iQOO 15? This is the iQOO 15 that I have. I've been actually testing it. Overall, it's a good phone, but as I've told you, I've just ordered the OnePlus 15. So let the OnePlus 15 come. Let's test it out, because I'm hearing very mixed opinion from people regarding the camera on the, what do you say, OnePlus 15. But definitely, I would say in terms of camera, the iQOO's cameras have definitely improved. That was something that I was not expecting. So let's see, let the OnePlus come, then I'll be able to answer which one is doing better, because I just don't want to say without testing it out. Okay, again, EV's questions. This is a Hemchand. He's asking, what are your thoughts on rights to repair in the context of EV? Can we foresee a future where FNG garages can do cell level repair on EVs? I would say eventually this will happen, and I think so you are free to do it once your warranty is done. Most of the EVs are giving 8 years warranty, etc. on the battery. So when the official warranty is done, nobody can stop you. You can take your battery to a garage center, etc. and get it repaired. And there was one recent case about 3 months ago. This was for the Nexon, I think so, the original generation Nexon. And his battery had some issues, and Tata diagnosed it, or whatever. They said that it has to be replaced, and they gave a bill of 3.5-4 lakhs or whatever. But this guy, instead of just getting that, claiming from insurance on long process, he went to a local vendor, what do you say, battery repair people, and they diagnosed his vehicle, etc. And they said that there is a row of cells that is causing a problem. And they were able to actually replace those cells, etc., those cells that were creating a problem. And now his what do you say, car is working perfectly. And in fact, I recall the guys that replaced the cell and did the cell balancing, everything, whatever, they charged him 50,000 instead of that 4 odd lakhs of the price that Tata quoted. So I think so in the future there is a big market that will come up doing this, because in the next 3 years there'll be a lot of EVs whose what do you say, battery warranty will get expired, because initially they were offering 8 years of warranty. Yes, I know the new EVs are offering lifetime warranty, but most of them earlier was, and even though in below a certain price point, still most are offering 8 years of warranty. So we will definitely see that. And this is by Shadow Enigma. He's asking, hey Ranjit, have you checked out the ADAS in your car? Yes, I have actually checked out ADAS, and in fact I use ADAS on both my XUV 700 and even on the B6. In fact, I like using cars with ADAS. In fact, I will not buy a car now, new car, which does not have ADAS. In fact, I would say the ADAS on B6 has improved considerably compared to the XUV 700. XUV 700 just has one radar, and I would say yes, XUV 700 once or twice I have enabled that automatic emergency braking. It got false once or twice only, not more, but once actually it saved me the automatic emergency braking. I was going normally on a road at around 50, and from the side suddenly a bike, I'm very young chap, must be in 20s or whatever, just suddenly cut me very close to my car, and the automatic emergency braking actually braked on the time. Yes, I was also going to press the brake, but that split second faster reaction with the automatic emergency braking saved it, because otherwise that guy, though it was not my fault, he was cutting me, my car would have hit him. So yes, I like the automatic emergency braking. In fact, now on the B6 I like it even more, because with the B6 now I've driven it over 4,500 kilometers. This automatic emergency braking has never till now done a false braking, or I would say panic braking unnecessarily for me. So I feel in the new B6 the calibration, etc., is a lot better than even the implementation of the XUV 700. So yes, ADAS is a good safety thing in your car. And again, you can disable a lot of features of ADAS. At least in the B6 you can disable whatever you want with the ADAS features that you want, and you can also adjust the sensitivity. I would say people just leave it at the default settings and just use it. Sometimes actually it is very aggressive in the default setting. So again, you can fine tune it based on your style of driving that you have. So for me, yes, if I'm going to buy a new car, that is one reason I don't like my Nexon EV Max, because the Nexon EV Max that I have simply does not have ADAS, and my wife actually drives it quite a bit. And something like automatic emergency braking or something is definitely a useful, I would say, feature in terms of safety, in my frank opinion. Anyways, guys, that was it for this tech Q&A session. If you guys are still not subscribed to this YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. And again, guys, stay tuned. I will be posting a video on this iQOO 15, and also should be getting the OnePlus 15 that I've ordered from Amazon very soon. So again, stay tuned to my channel. Anyways, guys, take care. Catch you later. Bye-bye.